Hey everybody, it's Professor Malat here with our first weekly overview video. I post these videos each week, not only as a reminder for the things that you have to do. I go through the list of resources and assignments that you'll be responsible for each week, but also to include some additional information. So sometimes I'll tag a lecture on. I try not to make these videos too long, but because this is the first one in the series of weekly videos, this one might be a little bit longer. So let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen here, which will open up to our Canvas homepage. And if you haven't had the opportunity to look through the course and go through this getting started module and looking through the resources and watching the overview video, please make sure that you do that, as well as looking at the course syllabus and even watching the course syllabus overview. It's important to go through the overview. You don't have to watch the overview video, but if there are any questions, you can always look to the overview video to see if I answer those questions as I go through the syllabus. So let's navigate to modules. Remember, navigating to modules is the best way to make sure that you have access to all of the resources. If you are simply going through the to-do list and just looking at the assignments, you're going to very quickly get lost in the course, right? So there are a few things that I want to go over in this week one overview. Of course, each module is set up the same way. I think I've said that in previous videos. You'll have an overview that you can read through, as well as the objectives for that learning module. Next is a checklist of the assignments and things that you do, followed by readings, lectures, and media, and any optional materials. Optional materials usually include review for grammar and may have additional things that are related to class topics that we are discussing. They're not required readings, but however, if you are one who needs a grammar review, these links will be helpful to you. And if you want to take a look at the supplementary materials, you're more than welcome to. So let's take a look at the checklist. And each week you will see the same thing: review, readings, and media below. I do not make additional assignments for readings. It is understood that you are going to review the readings that I have placed in the reading section each week, as well as watch the lectures or media that I post each week. These are additional things that help to round out your learning. So it's important that you take a look at the resources and you don't skip over them, especially the readings for this week. So of course, as I said before, reading the syllabus is extremely important. There's also a PDF download that you can save to your file so you have access to it outside of Canvas. There are two readings that I want you to take a look for because they are going to help you start thinking about the first essay topic. And I'm not talking about the introductory essay. That's just a short writing exercise for you to do to kind of introduce yourself to me and to start thinking about why you're here. And I'll go over that in a moment. But these two readings are going to help with the first narrative assignment. So you'll probably find that the introductory essay is a little bit similar to the narrative assignment, but this helps you. You could almost consider it a rough draft for the narrative assignment that will be coming up shortly. So we have review the readings and media. There's also a reminder on MLA format guidelines. If you are not familiar with MLA format, this will be an important link to take a look at because all of your written course materials, I want you to follow this format, which is MLA. Excuse me. So the first assignment I have is the English 099 syllabus quiz. Let's take a look at that. Actually, I'm going to open it up and view it as student instead. This is what you will see. And it says, please read through the course syllabus. So again, I link to the course syllabus, so you don't have to go back to it. But of course, you can also open it up in an additional page. This is a very informal quiz. It has 5 questions, and you have 3 attempts to answer the questions correctly. The highest score will be the one recorded in the gradebook. And the questions really are just probably the most important parts of the course syllabus, which relate to how you're being graded, and that kind of thing. So that is the first assignment. The second assignment is, go back into the overview. Second assignment is the introductory essay. Now, the introductory essay, you are kind of answering the question, why are you here? I don't expect this to be a perfect essay. If it's been a long time since you've written an essay, or perhaps you've never really written a formal essay, this helps me to see where your skills are and where we can then, how I can adapt the course to the individual needs of each learner in the course. So the purpose is to help you reflect on your personal journey and reasons for being in this English comp class at this particular college, or perhaps in your chosen major or career path, right? Some of you may be returning to college after a long time. You may already be established in your careers, and perhaps you are looking to give yourself a little boost in your career path. And if that's the case, I'd like to know a little bit more about that. So this reflection is going to provide some insight into your motivations, your goals, any challenges you might face, and that will allow us to better support your academic success. And by us, I mean not only me, but also the tutoring staff, right? We will be working with the tutoring staff at the Academic Writing Center. So it's good to know if there are any kind of issues that you've had either in the past or perhaps new ones that you are encountering. So this helps you to, some of the skills you're going to be using are reflective thinking. Of course, you're going to be writing, critical thinking, and of course, self-assessment. So I'm asking you to write a 2 to 3 page essay that addresses the question, why are you here? And you can interpret that in any number of ways. You can read more about it. And here are some things that you can think about as you begin writing this essay. So think about your personal background. I have a list of questions that can help to guide you. Are there any motivations or goals? Do you have any short-term or long-term academic or career goals? Challenges and support. Have you faced any obstacles or challenges in your educational journey? So things like, if you have a diagnosed learning disability, or you suspect that you have some kind of learning issue, that could be anything from crippling anxiety, right, which can be a barrier to learning sometimes, to dyslexia, right? If you have reading problems, this would be a good place to let us know about that. Expectations and reflections. So what do you hope to gain from this class? How do you see your time at college shaping your future, and so on and so forth? And then the criteria for success, reminders that it should be 2 to 3 pages long, double spaced with 1-inch margins. And this is related to the MLA format that I showed you the link for. So you can read through the list of criteria for success. You can also take a look at the grading rubric. So I'm going to be looking at your personal background, motivations and goals, challenges and supports, expectations and reflections, how well you organize your writing, style and mechanics, formatting, and of course, effort and insight. So if you've made a concerted effort to write the essay, even though it may not be perfect, I think that's an important aspect of evaluating student writing. So that is the essay. And then the final one will be a discussion board. So This discussion board assignment, typically discussion boards will be due, your initial post will be due on Sunday, and if there are any required follow-up responses, those will be required by the following Wednesday. And I do have the due dates. I do have the discussion board set up so that you'll actually get separate due date reminders on your to-do list. At least that's what I think you're supposed to get. That's a new aspect of the discussion board, so I am looking forward to working with that. So welcome to our class discussion. To start a post, so here's the assignment. You're just going to click on reply. You will type out your reply here, and then if there are any photos that you want to attach, sometimes people will attach photos of their pets. I love seeing pet photos, so that's really cool. Or if there's a hobby that you are particularly interested in and you want to share that with your classmates, you're more than welcome to do that. And then you click reply, right? So here is my little example. Here's my intro, complete with a typo, and click on reply. And then when you want to reply to a student, all you have to do is select the student and then click on reply, and that opens up the reply, and you do reply again. Lots of replying there. So it's pretty intuitive. It's pretty easy. Again, a reminder, the initial post, well, it's a two-part. So first is your introduction, and then if you have any kind of writing anxiety, this would be a place to have a little bit of an open and honest conversation about it. Do you worry about writing assignments? Do they make you feel uneasy? Do you have negative feelings about certain types of writing? And, not everybody has writing anxiety. So if you're one of the lucky ones who doesn't deal with that, share some advice on how you can create a positive writing experience for yourself or for your classmates, right? If you have any suggestions for classmates who might be struggling with some issues when it comes to writing or in English in general, please share that advice. All right. And then let's see what else we have. That's it. So that is the checklist. So make sure that you go through the readings here. These are PDFs that you can download. And then the last one is a link. The lectures and the media, I house the overview videos under here, but I will also send an announcement that has a link to the video, as well as a link to the weekly resources and a reminder of the assignments. So look for your announcements each week to be reminded of what you need to do. These two videos are really helpful in thinking about college and thinking about success and thinking about your major. So again, these resources are just kind of setting you up for the coming weeks and the narrative assignment that will be due in week 5. So let me leave my student view. Again, if you have any questions for me, you know how to get in touch with me. Send me an email. It's Malott, VJ, MALOTTVJ at ucmail.uc.edu, or you can simply click on the Canvas inbox and send me a message that way. That goes directly to my UC email, so I will see it. I have it on my phone. So if I'm out and about or if I'm on campus teaching, I still have access to your messages to me. All right. Here's to a great first week. I look forward to learning more about each and every one of you. Take care. Bye-bye.